Excuse me. You're not supposed to be in there. Come on. Thank you. That's much better. No babies. No babies. No babies. Do you look bigger than normal, Iantha? Is that a beginning of a pregnant belly too? I don't know. The feeder is empty and now ready for greens. Is that yummy carrot peels? So yummy. Looks like someone is making a kind of nest in the hay. Are you pregnant, Zuzu? Are you gonna have babies? The beginning of fall is always an exciting time in our rabbitry because we start having pregnant rabbits and then we have babies born and the breeding season begins, and that's always a whole bunch of fun. As you guys can probably tell, Acrobat is looking very, very big. Her belly is like bulging out on both sides, and last time she was pregnant, her belly was very big, but it wasn't as big as this time. So this time her belly is huge. So it's very likely that she is pregnant again, so I'm super excited. Some rabbits don't get big at all when they're pregnant, but from my experience, it seems like Acrobat is one of those who does show when she has babies, so that's really helpful. It's quite difficult sometimes in a colony, especially when you have a buck living in your colony all the time, to predict the start of breeding season. It's really hard for me to tell when he stops going sterile and then when they let him breed. It's very rare that I ever see rabbits breeding. So pretty much the only for sure way I can tell that a rabbit was pregnant is when she gave birth. Oftentimes nesting is a sign of pregnancy as well as big bellies, but some rabbits don't have big bellies. Some rabbits only nest like a few hours or minutes before they give birth. But Acrobat is very, very big, so I'm expecting, or at least hoping for, babies in the next few days or weeks. And Zuzu is working very, very hard in making a nest in the straw over here. She can't dig out or dig a burrow in this area because it's covered with wire, but the hay is big enough that she can dig the hay out of the way. So we might have a little patch of babies over here if she is pregnant and gives birth. It's possible she's preparing way ahead of time and she's not pregnant and she's just making a nest for babies that are going to come in a few months. But it's also possible she is pregnant and is going to have babies soon. Her mama, Selah, sometimes looked a little chunkier, but wasn't very apparent in her pregnant belly. So it's possible that her daughter is the same way. But we'll just have to see. Hopefully she has babies. I'm so excited for her babies coloring when they do come. All 3 of our nest boxes have bedding in them, and the bedding is like undisturbed recently, like they're preparing the area for babies. There's no fur pulled yet, but there's been some rabbits stuffing bedding through the tube. I haven't seen any hay stashing in their mouths, but there has been some pushing hay into the nest box areas, and there are little holes being dug in the bedding like the babies are coming soon. I don't know who's been doing it. I know Ivy was preparing this one a while ago, but she has since stopped. But these 2, I don't really know who has been preparing these ones. Acrobat at one point was digging a burrow, but it ended up collapsing. The entire top of the burrow was bedding and it wasn't very sturdy, so it ended up collapsing and being abandoned. But she's still super fat and pregnant, so she didn't give birth in it. But that is a good sign that she's preparing for babies, is making a nest. But seems like she's not digging any other burrows, so I'm assuming she's either going to use a nest box, or I guess like Zuzu might use just a hole in the ground. But every time I come into the colony, I just like, there's a smile on my face, because like she has such a big belly, and you know, all summer we usually don't have any kits. I think the last babies we had were in June, so it's been a couple months, and oh, I'm so excited. Having baby bunnies is like the funnest thing. But there's not much extra I can do. I'm still feeding them and checking nest boxes for babies. All I have to do now is just continue to do what I'm doing, and until that exciting day when it's just, you have no idea when it's coming, then you come out and instead of an empty nest box like there's been for months, there's babies in the nest box and you're super excited. Then there's the checking of the babies and making sure they're being fed, and then their eyes are opening, a nest box eye, and then all that fun stuff. It is a whole bunch of work, but it's really, really fun at the same time. And Elodie, our herd queen, I don't know if she's pregnant. If she is, then it'd be a surprise to me. She's always been kind of big, and she's not been nesting at all this fall. Last breeding season, she had a long time to get pregnant, but she didn't, so hopefully this year is different. But if she continues to not get pregnant, I'm gonna have to probably get rid of her. But Ivy, her belly is looking a little big. Then Zuzu is making a nest. Iantha's looking a little big, maybe. And Acrobat for sure is pregnant. So hopefully we'll be having a lot of litters in the next few weeks. I mean, it could be days, but I am telling myself weeks because I don't want to get my hopes up unnecessarily. But make sure to keep a lookout for baby bunny videos that will hopefully be coming soon. And Ronwin is not pregnant. He's not, which is good because he's a boy. Yeah, but he's making the baby still. He's doing a good job. You're such a good buck, Ronwin. Yes, you are. You guys, look what Elodie is doing. Hi. Hi. While she's distracted, let's take a tiny peek into her nest. Oh, wow. So before there was like, all the bedding was like one huge bowl. And now, like, this part is all full. So it looks like, from what I can tell, she's going to give birth in the very front over here. Okay. This could mean she's going to have babies soon. I think it was last winter or early this spring, Elodie was with a buck, and then she had a false pregnancy. She built a nest way ahead of time and then never gave birth. I don't know if this is another false pregnancy or if she's getting ready for actual babies like 3 weeks in advance. So it's possible and hopefully likely that Elodie is pregnant and is going to have babies soon, and she is preparing for babies now, like right before she's going to give birth. So I'm hoping that's the case. It's possible it's not. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, it's later in the day, much later. Let's see if anything has changed since last time. Nope, looks pretty much the same in this one. Same in here as well. And this is the same too. Acrobat, Zuzu, Elodie, and Ivy don't look any different than they usually do. So I doubt any of them gave birth anywhere else in the colony. So I guess we'll just keep waiting. I kind of expected this, but you know, there's always the hope that they'll have babies real fast. But we'll just keep waiting.